The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Rock the Mailbox, a special webinar presented by Trish Witkowski, who has graciously agreed to do this again for us after we had a little glitch at Graph Expo. A little internet glitch and our broadcast went down. So you all lucked out because you get to see it live and in person. Well, sort of, but you get to speak to Trish live and in person. Speaking of Trish, if you don't know who Trish Witkowski is, you might know her as the folding fanatic. She produces the Fold of the Week every week, which you should sign up for. What other people might not know about her is that she is actually a direct mail expert and has been for a very long time. She's developed a direct mail simplified series for direct marketing IQ. She's worked with SAPI North America to create Act Now, which is it's kind of a, how would you describe that, Trish? I sort of de-scoop, but it's kind of like all information you need to know how to get your direct mail read, kind of, right?
Yeah, it's about the process of creating effective mail communications, so strategy, format, analysis that kind of covers the whole process and gives you some really cool samples and all sorts of stuff.
And that's really cool. Everyone should check that out at sapi.com/North America. I mean, they were giving it away last time I saw that, so hopefully that's still the same case.
Yeah, or you can ask your SAPI rep.
Oh, bonus, ask your SAPI rep.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know, Trish and I have been running into each other at events for many years. Trish is an amazing speaker at events. She also does in-house events, industry events, training. She does everything. But most important is that I think more than anything else, her mission is really to help everybody out there create amazing print. And that's why I personally love working with her. That's her agenda, to help us all do our work better. So without any further ado, I'm honored, humbled, amazingly happy to introduce Trish Witkowski and her new initiative, Rock the Mailbox.
Thanks, Deborah. What a nice introduction. I really appreciate it. I appreciate everyone being here today. You know, I feel like what happened at Graph Expo, the little tech glitch, is almost like a happy accident. It's been a wonderful opportunity to be able to share it again with everybody online. I also want to thank Explore for you know, the platform here today, which was very, very nice. So, gosh, well, I thought I'd start with just a touch about my background. And then we'll dig right into what Rock the Mailbox is. So,
and Trish, just one thing I forgot to mention. If at any point during the webinar people have questions, just type them into the question area, and as relevant, we can interject into the conversation, or we can save them to the end.
Yeah, we love questions. Feel free to ask. We're happy to keep get a conversation going. So that's great. So for those of you who know me or know a little bit about me, my background is actually in research in direct mail formats. I've been studying mail and formats in general primarily for almost 20 years now. And over time, I've set industry standards for folding compensation mathematics. I've done a lot of video. I've done a lot of publications. And then I do, for 5 years now, which I can't believe, I've been doing the 60-second Super Cool Fold of the Week. Episode 265 went out this morning. I can't quite believe that. And so, you know, people send me not only samples from all over the world, but they send me a lot of questions. And where Rock the Mailbox kind of came about was that people would ask me, you know, love this format, you know, but I'm doing this. Can you give me some ideas? And I would spend a lot of time trying to figure out, you know, well, who's your audience? What are you trying to do? You know, format is a tool, but it's not everything. And so I started to look at the entire process of creating effective mail communications. And that's really when I started talking to the movers and shakers in the mail industry, everybody from, you know, the strategic and, you know, analytic side through to format, and as people, you know, who are printing and producing and sorting, and, you know, talk to USPS, of course, and Canada Post and things like that. To really start to get a feel for the process and what's going on in the industry. And then it just kind of turned into the idea that there's got to be a better way to, you know, get us all connected and finding the ideas and the resources and the inspiration and the services that we need to create effective mail communication. So, Rock the Mailbox is actually a site dedicated solely to the creation and distribution of mail. So we're helping people find the right companies and make the right connections to produce quality mail products and successful mailing campaigns. So we're offering a highly focused global database of companies who service the mail industry, and the site content then is also curated and managed by mail experts to keep the content clean and the focus clear. So currently we're in beta for a couple of months yet, so you're all getting a pretty early preview of this live site. We've got 900 companies in the database right now and growing. So also part of my goal in talking to everyone today is, we are aggressively searching for companies that are involved in the mail industry who have products and services that can help marketers around the world. So, we're looking for people to raise their hands, and so I'll show you how to do that. We want to help you get into our database. It's quick and it's easy. So also I want to mention that Rock the Mailbox is also a movement and a mantra. So yes, there's a site, but it's also, mail is an incredibly powerful marketing channel, but it has a really serious image problem. So, what I'm here to do is to show marketers amazing, engaging, effective mail strategies and to help people find the products and services that they need to achieve and even exceed their marketing goals. So, it's funny, the story to it really is, as I was saying, people would send me questions. And the reason they would send me questions is because they know that I know a certain part of the industry very, very well. So, people come to me with a question about, well, what's that thing that does this? And where do you get that? And who can do this? And so they come to me for that. But, if you're not in the industry, you don't know who to even ask. You don't know where to go. You don't even know, in many cases, what something would be called to even begin to search for it. And so the idea of creating a mail-focused community where anybody who is in marketing or who has a business and wants to start sending mail could go and through, basic categories, work their way down to a very detailed and focused group of companies was really the concept. So this is a question this is an example of a question that I get fairly frequently, or that somebody who doesn't know the industry might ask. What is that flipping card thing? Well, I know the answer. It's this kind of flipping infinity card that people always ask me about. And I know, because I know the industry well and I know formats really well, I know that that's called the flapper, and it's from my friends at Structural Graphics in Essex, Connecticut. But if you don't know that that's the flapper, then you have to try to figure out what that flipping card thing is. So you want to get basically, you want to get to that finite product or idea or service. So you do a Google search, and that gets you here. So for example, I'm doing a search for flipping card. I'm somebody who doesn't know the industry. Flipping card. I'm getting 3D flip cards. I'm getting software. I'm getting images that have nothing to do with what that is, right? Because I'm doing a very kind of broad global search across everything in the industry for this special flipping card that I'm looking for. So what we do is we start a lot closer in on Rock the Mailbox. So if you go to the home page, you'll see that we basically ask you what you're looking for, and there are 8 major categories to start. So as you can see, we really hit the entire process, everything from list and data hygiene, analytics, to formats, the integration of technology, software and systems, services and strategies, print and mail services and mail prep, print and mail production equipment and supplies, and your postage and mail logistics and distribution. So, if you basically, I think in most cases you can at least figure out what general category you're looking in. Now, if you're looking for a kind of a unique format, you'd get to mail formats and engagement strategy. So as you can see here, and I'm zooming in on these, you can see that we've got major categories. In this particular category, at the time, we've grown since, but we had 75 or so companies that are in formats and engagement strategies. So clicking that button took you right to the search results on that general category. So now you can get closer. We also have categories and specialties. So the category was formats and engagement, you can see up top. Then there's subcategories and specialties. So, okay, it's a mail format, so I click mail formats and products. You could also click among the specialties. So I chose dimensional and high-tech mail. You could have also chosen proprietary mail if you thought that it was an owned format. It actually is. The flapper is a proprietary format, but I'm going in as somebody who does not understand the industry and saying, okay, it's dimensional and cool, so that's what I'll click. So you can click and refine through our highly detailed taxonomy and the search taxonomy within the system. Okay, so watch this. So now we've got search results for only companies who are doing, formats and engagement that are highly focused, formats and products. For those of you who are familiar with, this area of the industry, formats, you will recognize some of these companies, and there's probably several that you may not know about yet. And that's kind of the exciting part, is a lot of these companies have probably never sat next to each other on one page. And by the way, there's multiple pages of these, but you can see here that structural graphics comes up as one of the companies that shows up. So, there are also ways to do, you can do keyword searching up at the top there as well, and if they had, that information. So we won't say, this is the flipping card, but we're getting you to all these companies that offer really creative, exciting solutions, and there's the one that offers the flapper right there. So now let's map it. So let's consider that, we also want to think about where geographically the location of the company is that we want to work with. So we have a really, really cool mapping feature on the site, and we offer its dynamic mapping. You can select, if you see up at the top, I don't know if everybody can see my little arrow here that I'm circling, but I chose dimensional and high-tech mail formats, just the general category. And you can see here, and I also chose all regions of the world. So you can choose a region of the world as well, but you can also choose all regions. So I chose the specialty dimensional and high-tech mail formats. And all those companies that you just saw are now mapped on the map and also are clickable down below. And when you roll over these, you'll see the name of the company and its address. So this is something that anybody who is logged into our system can use. We also have pretty robust news and resources pages as well. So we're curating and pulling direct mail focused news at all times, and we've got a pretty comprehensive resources page that we're also going to start breaking out into regions of the world to help people find resources that are very specific to where they are in the world as well. So pretty cool. And we're holding back. So we've done some really neat things, which I'll show you kind of on the other side of it now that you kind of know the general story of it. But we also have a pretty exciting roadmap of features that we're going to be releasing as we get more of a critical mass of companies into the system. So it's going to get pretty exciting, too. We've got some very, very cool things coming up. As I said, we're in beta, so we're just getting started. So this is how it works kind of on the business side if you are a business in that does business in mail. So Rock the Mailbox is a curated mail micro-community. So in other words, we are controlling who gets into the database, and that's for a reason. It's to keep, as you saw, how clean our search results are. We are very particular about making sure that that companies apply, basically. And then we take a look at them, make sure that they're related to the mail industry in one of those 8 categories and subcategories and specialties, and make sure that they qualify. And then we let you in. And then you can have so you basically apply for inclusion, and then it's free to create a company profile. And so that's because we just want to make sure that we're keeping this a micro-community and that it keeps, it stays as a really clean search. So I'm going to show you an example of a free company profile. There are 2 levels. There's a free profile and a premium profile, which is paid profile. So a free profile, if you apply and you're accepted to get in, we'll give you your admin privileges and we'll send you a note to welcome you in. And so everybody gets a you get your logo and, your company name up there. You get an about section that you can put a descriptive, I think it's up to 2,000 words, I can't remember. We also, every company has 200 characters or less to provide a concise statement of exactly what their core competency is. And we do this on purpose. We want to make sure that everybody is extremely clear about what they do. And it's not only for their kind of call out on their page, it's also for the search results. So the search result has your 200-character little descriptive blurb, I'll call it, that really helps people when they're skimming through and trying to figure out what companies they want to investigate. We also pull your social. So if your company has a LinkedIn page, a YouTube channel, a Twitter handle, and Facebook, we link all of those directly from your free company page so that people could link in on those. You can see here we've also got your website logged in. It's free to search Rock the Mailbox. Anybody in the world can search it, but they have to be logged in to be able to view the direct contact information. That's one of the things we block unless people are logged in as free members, users. So a free account also gets up to 3 expertise bullet points, and these are those little search taxonomy, the kind of those little search categories that we saw when we were in the search area. So you get up to 3 of those and 1 location you can identify. And then we also, on your page, we pull in a random assortment of 5 similar companies that are in your same in the same category as you are. So that's a free page. There's the expertise bullets and the location, and there's the similar companies. I should have been forwarding my little arrows. Okay, so next is a premium profile. So a premium profile has all the same things that the free profile does. However, we have a few enhancements. So of course you've still got your little call out. You've got your social, your logo, your descriptive paragraph, things like that. But you get up to 9 categories in the expertise area, and it has a lot to do with, it's a little bit hard to explain without showing everybody all the taxonomy, but you can choose the bullets based on what categories you qualify for. And so it goes to up to 9. And then forward here, and then up to 4 locations. And we knock out that recommendation engine and let you replace it with a 300 pixel by 600 pixel ad that you get to control and upload. You can change it as often as you want and do whatever you want, but we basically block out the recommendation engine and let you replace it with a nice big graphic ad. And you get a search boost. So that also for premium accounts. So to give everybody a feel for the pricing model, premium accounts are $149 a month, or you can save a few $100 a year if you do it on a pay for the year. So $149 a month, $14.99 a year. So now I want to flip it around and talk about the user experience. So that was the company experience. So if you're a company, you apply, you get accepted.
Trish?
Yes.
Trish?
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry, question. Would the premium accounts allow for videos on their profile pages?
That's coming. That's
okay.
one of our features that we're going to be opening up. I would say probably in 2015 sometime, but it's not in our beta launch. It's not in our launch, but it's definitely in the plan. We're going to be enhancing the company profile pages pretty dramatically over time and opening up the ability to put video, testimonials, products, links, all sorts of really cool things to enhance your page over time.
Okay, thanks. That was a suggestion from Bob from
awesome.
The audience. Thanks.
Sure. So to flip over to the user experience, so anybody in the world can search Rock the Mailbox for free. No problem. They can go there. They can search. But if they create a free user account, and I invite everyone to do that, if your company is brought in, you basically have admin privileges on your account, but there's reasons why you would like to have your own account, and that's because you can flag favorites and do all sorts of different things within your account. So basically, you can log in through LinkedIn or Salesforce, or you can just create a quick account, through our just form. So we have an easy form, or you can just do it through LinkedIn or Salesforce. So anyway, if you do create a free account, you get unlimited search results. So people who search it and aren't logged in, they get, we limit the results to 30 companies. So, unlimited search results if you have an account. We also give you access to our Maps feature, which is super cool. You already saw that. That's a really valuable tool. So if you're logged in, you get to use Maps. If you're not logged in, we block the access to the Maps tool. You can flag favorites, which really starts to come in handy as the database grows. As I said, we've already got almost 1,000 companies in. We've got a backlog of hundreds, and we're going to be aggressively working to get thousands and thousands of companies in. So, you're going to find really cool things, and you're going to want to flag them and say, I want to revisit these guys later. So anyway, you're able to flag favorites and store them in your account. We also, as you saw in the profile, we block the personal kind of company contact info unless you're logged in. And also, we're going to be able to open up, the ability to, receive special offers from different categories or, that you're interested in as a marketer. So, all of these things are really great benefits of creating just a quick and free user account and being logged in. So I'm inviting everyone to join Rock the Mailbox. So if you are a company who is, basically serves the mail industry in any of those major categories, I'd like to invite you to start by just going to rockthemailbox.com and search for your company. There's a search button. It says search. Just click the search and do like a keyword search for your company. If you find it, just send us a note at info@rockthemailbox.com and ask for your admin privileges. Because all we'll do is we'll just send you your admin privileges, and you can go in and you can change anything you want, and you can start to manage your own profile. If you don't find it, all you need to do is click that big golden Join Now button. And you'll see, one, you can, if you don't want to do a login through LinkedIn or Salesforce, you can create a user account while you're in there. You can see that on the left. But also, if you want to get your business in, just click the business owner, click here to get listed. And it's a very quick form. We just ask for, a contact, and we ask for your website and your company name. And we basically go in and we check it out. And we just make sure that you're involved in the industry. Then we clear you, and we send you an invitation to and some admin information and the ability to reset your password, and then you can go in and manage your account from there on. So I also am asking everyone to please spread the word as well. The best way to have a great resource is to have a lot of participation. So as I said, we're certainly aggressively working that on our end, but it also is great if, if people are spreading the word and telling others about it, and inviting them to join the database as well. So it's definitely all supporting, I think, what we're all doing. We all want the industry to succeed. We want things to grow, and it's such a powerful medium. And I think there's just a lot of people. There's a lot of confusion in how to get started, what to do, and I think if you can get to the right products and services, you'll have a level of confidence there, and you'll really, I think, see some great results, and we'll see the industry grow. So great stuff. So I'm happy to, before I show everybody, I do have a little fun grand finale with 10 cool direct mail engaging direct mail ideas. But Deborah, I wanted to open things up for a few questions, if anybody has any, before I move on to mail ideas.
Tom would like to know, when will it be out of beta testing?
We are looking at mid-January.
Okay.
Yep. So we are also. I'm very interested in. I invite you to send me an email, Trish@rockthemailbox.com. I'm looking for feedback, comments. We are testing out everything right now. We're testing out user experience, everything. And we're interested. That's why I'm definitely releasing this to the my colleagues in the industry first, if I really want this to be a tool and a resource that everyone, feels is valuable. So, if you have any comments or feedback, I am open to listening. So,
This is actually a pretty great question, and also I'm sure that pulls into your design experience and your relationship with the print buyers and such because of your fold of the week. But Karen DeWolf is asking, how will end users be told about the site? And I have to assume she's talking about the marketers, the designers, the people, the searchers,
Yep.
in other words.
Yep, and actually, I'm glad that question came up because there's really kind of, yeah, it's important because there's kind of two channels to marketing this, right? There's the industry itself, so we're getting people into the industry, or from the industry, getting them into the database. But then there's also, okay, how do we let marketers in general even know that this exists? So what we're working on right now is forming partnerships and talking with, everything from Chamber of Commerce to major global postal organizations to get their support so that we can get the word out to business and, marketers in general. So there's kind of a lot of partnership stuff going on where, getting the awareness through, major organizations and also postal organizations, right, and getting their support. So,
and of course,
yeah.
Print Media Center can help you with the
Absolutely.
Marketers, the designers, the creative community, and all that other stuff. And
yeah,
quite frankly, it's word of mouth. It is. I mean, I could understand why a printer wouldn't necessarily want to say, "Hey, I'm on this directory," because technically, so is their competition. But once the buying and designing community find out about this stuff, we like to share that type of information. So. That direct channel, I think, is very important.
Well, but but I do want to kind of circle back to that because the other issue is this. And one of the things that we did with Rock the Mailbox, and I will tell you from looking at, personally looking at 800 websites, 800 or 900 to date now, with all these, working with getting these companies into the database. It's wow. There is a real variety of websites. So there are companies that do really, really amazing things, but how they look on the web versus, I mean, some people are really, really polished and get right to the point. Some people, they don't focus on their website, but they do amazing things. And I think one of the things that we wanted to do was to kind of strip out the marketing spin and give people the ability to be found based on their capabilities, And so that's part of what Rock the Mailbox does, is we kind of neutralize that. And we say, here's who we are, here's where we are, and here's what we do really, really well. And, I think that is what we think is a really great strength of how the system works. And then, of course, we're offering the ability to get more visibility and to stand out through, premium accounts, and there's of course the ability to advertise on the site and things like that will be opening up. So, I think there's, and then of course the geolocation side of things. When people are starting to look, they may, the idea of discovery is really important with Rock the Mailbox. That people can get discovered based on, oh my gosh, I didn't know these guys are right in, 3 towns away from me. So. I also think there's a lot of opportunity for discovery.
I totally understand what you're saying, but I still think it's a very valid question that, if somebody's going to spend $1,500, how are you going to provide the searchers? Mm-hmm. So. No,
absolutely. So, I mean, I think it's absolutely the right question to ask, and we are aggressively working, to get into kind of bigger partnerships,
right,
across the postal organizations and also, Chamber of Commerce and things like that to get visibility, because we certainly know that, otherwise, we're a database otherwise. I mean, we
right,
have to get the traffic kind of in both directions. So it's an ambitious project. It absolutely is. But we certainly believe that there's an awful lot to gain here, I think, for everyone.
I mean, I couldn't agree more with you. I mean, I'm one of those people that would have searched Flappy thing for sure. I mean, I have put some crazy search terms into Google, and if I just had an inkling that there was a site that had all the direct mail people in one place, I mean, I would go there because, quite frankly, buyers like one-stop shopping, and if that's the place then to go, then that would be amazing.
Yeah, and
Interesting.
one thing I also want to add quickly is, just in doing a lot of presentations, I do a lot of events these days, and, in-house and industry events. And, I think one of the things that marketers in general struggle with is just that confidence level with sending mail. They're overwhelmed by it. They don't quite get how to use it, how it works. They don't have the right tools. And so I think, feeling like all those tools are at your fingertips, I think, too, we can really get people more interested. What I have also learned is that there are a lot of people out there who want to spend money, who want to do new things. They don't know where to start, and so they go back to their normal things that they always do,
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
And besides service providers, are you also opening up a space for people, companies that help you with actually formulating direct mail marketing strategies and things like that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, not only that, but also consultants. Like, you can look up direct mail writers.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's amazing. I mean, there are, if you're not in the industry, you may not even realize that there are direct mail writers, quote unquote, that really do amazing things specifically for direct mail. There are, companies that do the data analytics and the hygiene side, the entire spectrum. We're really grabbing the entire spectrum, and
creating mailing lists with through data to do personalization too is another thing that people are always looking for help with.
Absolutely, and fascinating what we've been digging up. I mean, it's actually been a lot of fun working on the pre-population of the database because I am just learning some of the cool. There are just some amazing companies out there, people doing really, really cool things. The automation on the production side, some of the great things being done with postal optimization strategies, things that people don't even know they have a chance at. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, gosh, I never thought of postal optimization. Okay, I can save 15% on my postage, but I just didn't even know I could do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's been really eye-opening. Even as someone who knows the industry pretty well, I'm learning more and more by the day. And then you kind of expand out to the world, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's a company in Germany doing this, and there's something amazing going on, and it's kind of like all over. There are really neat things happening. So
that's actually
it's been a lot of fun.
That's actually a perfect segue, because our next question is specifically, do you have any companies in Italy? But that's a great question. Is this an international site or a United States centric?
Yeah, so it's definitely international. I would tell everyone that currently we're definitely more weighted in the U.S. because my initial list and searches and everything have leaned toward the U.S. because that's my market that I know really well. But we've got companies from around the world. We are working to aggressively expand, throughout. So we've got, and you can search by world region in the maps. So we're certainly set up for a truly global database. Everything in the site is set up that way. Right now our database leans U.S., but that's definitely not the strategy.
Okay.
Definitely global, yeah.
Michelle would like to know if you are adding Pinterest to your social media links, or can you?
Good question. Currently it's not in there. However, I can check on that. It's probably in our roadmap. I mean, any of the social is fairly straightforward how we pull that in. So I don't see why we couldn't. I'm guessing we may ultimately put in a few other social links, so like your Pinterest and your some people like the the Instagram or Google Plus, and RSS, stuff like that. So I'm fairly certain we have the capability to. I think we started with kind of the 4 major ones, but we certainly can expand out.
Okay.
But I'll note that.
I know Sandy Hubbard's out there. I'm surprised she hasn't been asking questions. She's very She likes to ask questions. She's not asking any questions.
Well,
Maybe
she was
she's
also there
fallen
at
and she
Central.
can't get up. Yeah. So there actually aren't any other questions at the moment.
Okay.
I know that you have something really fun and cool you want to share,
I
so
do.
maybe we can move to that. And if any questions pop up, still ask them, and I'll just ask you after you finish the next portion.
That sounds great. And also, I also want to just welcome people to send me an email at trish@rockthemailbox.com. You know, if you want to just connect with me offline, that's fine too. So, all right. So, well, grand finale. I've got 10 fun things, 10 easy ideas for mail. These are kind of engagement strategies. So, as I mentioned, I've been doing a lot of work in kind of the area of engagement. So folding and format choice is an engagement strategy, just like many other tricks and techniques. So I've been really digging into the idea of, you know, sending engaging mail that gets attention. So I've got 10 quick things. And, you know, first, though, you know, is your mail that you're sending engaging, right? Well, there's something called marketing fatigue. And that's when, you know, you feel like you've seen the same thing over and over and over again, so you don't even really pay attention or look at it, right? So that's really the enemy of direct mail, is to send, you know, to not keep things fresh. I love sharing this. This is an example of what I think, you know, a company that I think is just fighting marketing fatigue like possibly no one else. Every single piece I get from Geico is entirely different. And you can see here, you know, they've got the gecko, they've got the hump day camel, you know, they've got craft paper envelope, branded, unbranded. They're doing some really, really neat things to keep their mail fresh. So I like showing that just as an idea of, you know, somebody who sends a ton of mail, doing, you know, keeping things fresh every single time. But really what we're going to do today is we're going to learn how to fight fatigue with some powerful engagement strategies. I've got some general categories. Number one is stamps. And, you know, until I really started studying mail, I don't think I really thought of stamps as a strategy for engagement. But the creative use of a stamp, a specialty stamp, something unique, you know, you think about it when you get something in the mail, and if the stamp's cool, it's kind of like, oh, they put a little extra special attention, or, you know, this has a, you know, a personality of its own. So there's always special, you know, USPS or, you know, whatever stamps that are really cool. There are also custom, something called PC postage. These samples are from Dazzle.com, but they have to be from a PC postage approved company, but it's real postage, and you can import your own custom images in, or your logo, or, you know, I love that little grumpy cat. He's funny. And then also, a lot of times we're seeing these days standard mail or bulk mail using, you know, pre-canceled stamps, which look at a glance kind of like a first-class stamp, feels a little more personal. There's also something called a mailer's postmark, and that's on the right, and it looks like a canceled-out first-class stamp, but it actually isn't. That's ink-jetted, you know, postal information there over the basically the pre-canceled stamp, and so it looks like a first-class stamp with a cancellation. But in using the mailer's postmark, you don't have to use a return address, which is kind of the signature of standard mail. So it looks personal, and it looks like, you know, a first-class letter. Kind of neat. Opening mechanisms. I love this stuff. These are from my friends at Tension Envelope. And, you know, think about it, that different creative ways to get people into the piece of mail, right? Give them something to do. You know, and this can be done with an envelope or also with just the format itself. You know, a little zip strip, a pull tab, a snap-off end. You know, I think of myself, and, you know, we're all so used to opening a standard number 10 envelope or whatever with the flaps the normal way. And, you know, giving somebody an interesting way to get in is challenging. It's fun, you know, and it gets people interested. Number 3, dimension. This is a long-run one from my friends at Specialty Print Communications in Chicago. This is just neat. There was a piece they did for IAMS. It's actually an inline automated pop-up format that had a pull-down coupon that perked off. Just a great kind of surprise when something shows up flat and opens up dimensional. Really, really fun. This is a great, you know, shorter-run solution from this is from redpaperplane.com. That's new from Structural Graphics. This piece will be in an envelope. It's got a little belly band on it, and it slides off and pops into a dimensional cube. These are neat. They can be designed and ordered online, which is really cool. But that idea of something fun and dimensional is great, very engaging. Paper choice is also an engagement strategy. I love this piece from Ann Taylor Loft. So one of the greatest strengths of mail and print in general is its tangibility, right? You can touch the different senses. You know, the more senses we touch, the more engaged that person gets. You can create an emotional connection with printed material, which is one of the greatest strengths. So this piece is great. It starts on an uncoated sheet. They tip in a heavy coated card, and so you give them, you know, that wonderful contrast between the dull and the gloss. You give them something to do to peel off that card, and then this piece is a fun format. It's actually it's a quarter folded closed gate. So it gates and then closes up like that, and then quarter folds down. I just backed it up for everybody so you can get a feel for the folding sequence. But you get a, you know, sometimes with folded self-mailers, you can get a tremendous amount of real estate and content in a really neat format that, you know, mails, self-mails, you know, and is machinable. So super cool. Another great thing is special print effects. So these things are eye-catching, they're interesting, and the great thing about a special print effect is it's fairly simple, right? You're just putting an effect on the sheet. This is from my friends at HBP. These are 2 cards from a series of mailers. And I like showing this one because, one, they use very kind of bold imagery. This is just a card mailer, which I like showing because it's simple. Sometimes, you know, I'm known for Fold of the Week, and people, I think, sometimes think I'm only, you know, I only favor the crazy stuff that's really, you know, intricate or whatever. But I love simple solutions as well that can be very engaging, and you can have tremendous success on either end of the budget spectrum. So anyway, what they did here is only where the ice is, they used a spot glitter UV coat. So when you look at this piece, it looks exactly like ice. I wish the photo could do it justice, but it's so cool. It just looks like a real piece of ice. If you do not already have this, Sappy Fine Paper, they have an amazing publication called the Standard 5, and it's on special print effects. So if you're contacting them about that Act Now direct mail piece, ask them also if they have the Standard 5 for you as well. It has like every possible print effect in there, and it's really, really well done. It's beautiful. Visual tricks, my favorite thing. So folding, okay, so folding is my #1 favorite thing. But if we're talking about just engagement strategies in general, visual tricks, I think, are some of the most interesting and cheap, _cheap, solutions that are engaging that you can do for mail. I love this. So this is just a fun piece for Best Buy. It's 2 panels with a single fold, but they've got a little short trim that says open here. And when the person opens it, they basically open to the door of the stove. You know, just clever and fun. People love that kind of integration of imagery with format, and you can do some really neat things with very basic formats, and a fun image trick that makes it engaging. This was a big hit on Fold of the Week. This is from Erickson Living, and it's probably the simplest format I've ever shown on Fold of the Week. And all it is 2 cards with an eyelet. So they're fastened together with an eyelet. So an eyelet's like a grommet, but smaller and more decorative. And it just adheres the 2 pieces together. So it says, turn this bottle upside down. Fun times of brewing at Eagles Trace. Turn. And now the beer bottle is pouring the glass of beer. All this is 2 printed sheets interacting with each other. Simple turn, throw it in an envelope, cool, engaging, fun, simple. Love it. #7, interaction. How can you get people to interact with the piece? This is actually from an ad, but I think this is a great example of how you can use an image trick with interaction and what I call fascination, basically, doing something interesting to get people engaged. So it says, please take a number, and there's a number 1 there. And it says, peel here. So when you peel it off, now you've got a coupon in your hand for the prepackaged deli meat. So basically they're saying you can be first in line and basically not wait in line and grab the prepackaged stuff, or you can be number 72 and wait in line at the deli. So I love this concept that they've now done an image trick. They've gotten you to integrate, you know, to interact with the piece, and you now physically are holding the coupon. Just so smart and clever and engaging. This is a great one from my friends at Ryder Dickerson. This was for a college simple two-card, basically two panels with a fold glued together, and a perf around those three areas that say live it, feel it, breathe it. So those become little peekaboo kind of panels, right? So you peel those up, get a closer look. The third one opens too, but I didn't want to block the other two. There's a tradition, passion, and then the third one says something. But you can see there's a QR code, and on the image, the universal symbol for video, right? And so you know, everybody knows, even at a quick glance, that that means scan the QR code and you're going to get to a really cool video. So now you've gotten somebody interested. So you've fascinated them enough to make them open those. They've engaged, right? They've done something interesting. They've pulled something, so you've got a little bit of dimension. They've scanned with their mobile. Now you've got tremendous tracking information. And by the way, they had a capacity crowd for this event. Fascination. This is a great example of just using like a window on an envelope with lenticular. Verizon's been doing this. I think it's been working for them. I've gotten a couple of these with different lenticulars in the windows. So it's a great choice, whichever way you look at it. I love that they took the concept and integrated it. So when you tip it, it says, Amazon gift card. So basically, I think you create an account with them or whatever, switch over to them, and you get a $300 Amazon gift card. So great way of using lenticular, great way to fascinate people, movement, curiosity, fascination, great stuff. Personalization, right? The more personalized the piece is, the higher the chance of engagement. This is an example of variable text and image. You see there's also a personalized URL and also variable imagery. This is, I think, a very exciting example of variable and where things can go. This is from my friends at Motion Cutter in Germany. It's high-speed laser cutting that's personalized and variable, and it's amazing. That's all I can say. Check it out. This is their name cut technology. So this is also dimension, personalization, die cutting. It's really, really cool. And then lastly, creative formats. So as you all know, format is my world, and this is from my friends at Standard Press. Simple two panels glued together with one fold. There's a die cut here and a score, and I love the integration of an image trick with this plus interaction. So fractions can happen in a split second. Pull that, so in a split second you create a fracture, right? And then it releases two interior panels that gatefold out. Again, this is a simple, simple mailer, but really cool and engaging. And you'll notice here as I'm describing these, a lot of these are kind of combinations of engagement strategies. So image tricks plus, visual tricks plus interaction is, this one plus creative format choice. So like 3 different engagement strategies. You can layer these engagement strategies and, make the piece more and more and more engaging. This is a wrapped centered stepped accordion. Basically, you can wrap the cover. You can wrap an accordion so that it's got a closed edge for self-mail, and you can play with how the accordion on the interior goes, but you can see the panels can taper and create a stepped effect. Really, really cool. This is a beautiful piece from Leo Burnett, Detroit. Just a lovely format and a great use of space and imagery and color, simplicity. It's very dynamic, really, really beautiful. And I have a few last, resources for everybody. So as Deborah mentioned, I contributed the content for the Act Now publication for Sappy Fine Paper. It's very cool. It's just kind of a sneak peek at what you get. So you'll definitely want to get in touch with Sappy for one of those. Design Great Mail at the DMIQ bookstore, so directmarketingiq.com. Click on the bookstore, and you can find Design Great, it's basically Direct Mail Simplified. It's 3 publications: Design Great Mail, Optimized Format, and Track and Measure. So those are all available at DMIQ. I also have a course on lynda.com called Direct Mail Strategy, and I just might possibly have a new one coming out soon. So watch for that. I'll send an announcement when that comes out. And then also here's just some information on how to connect with me. And I also want to invite everyone to connect with Print Media Center. So they've got a print production professionals group on LinkedIn, at Print Media Center on Twitter. And Deborah, am I missing anything?
No, but I did want to, first of all, thank you so much. I mean, you're incredible. This has been incredible information. A quick question about Rock the Mailbox, and then I'll just move on to something else. Sandy actually had a good question, which was, can the Rock the Mailbox site be used or have the capabilities being a central place to get samples?
To get like physical samples?
Yeah, to get samples of direct mail, kind of like the ones you're showing.
Currently, no. However, you know, it's funny. That is a request I get a lot.
Yeah.
And so I am trying to figure out how to find a way to get people more of the things they want. Because what happens a lot of times in what I'm showing, you know, I'm getting single pieces from around the world. They're not always coming from, you know, so most of them are real-world samples that are being produced.
Right.
However, you know, there are a lot of great companies that are producing cool things, you know, so it's definitely on my, I'd say, it's on my roadmap, but it's a little bit difficult kind of logistically to figure out how to, you know, get people the pieces, you know, the samples. But that's the funny part is with print and with direct mail, you know, when you're trying to sell an idea, you want the physical thing to pass around and show people.
Oh,
you know,
100%.
Look, we can do this.
Right.
You know?
I mean, that might be something to look into, you know, as you're developing the featured listings more to have a click here for samples button, you know.
Yep.
Something
I think
like
it's a great
that.
idea.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I will note that.
Okay. And then you mentioned the SAP Standard 5. I just wanted to mention that Daniel Dejan actually did a webinar for us on that. It's up on my YouTube channel. Last I heard, there wasn't many of those books left.
They are going fast. They are running
yeah.
out. So if you do not have one,
people were actually selling them on eBay, believe it or not.
That's the truth too.
Yeah. So I have one I have an extra one that's going to the highest bidder as long as we're. No, I'm only kidding. But if the chances of you getting one are probably not so great unless you act really fast, but if you want to see, Daniel just did an amazing webinar. It's up on my YouTube channel. And then the only other thing I wanted to mention, you know, thank you for giving me the shout-outs, was that every Wednesday at 4 o'clock Eastern Time, Print Media Center hosts Print Chat. It's a weekly discussion about all things print, integrated marketing, community sharing, knowledge sharing, a little fun. Next week is our Print Chat House of Horrors Spooktacular, and we're going to share scary tales from the trenches of print, and everyone needs to come in costume. So put on a cute avatar and just follow the Print Chat is on Twitter. You just follow the hashtag Print Chat. But we do have a website, printchat.printmediacenter.com, which I've been requested to stick in the little chat box here, so I will. And nothing else I want to say other than, Trish, I mean, you are an amazing resource. Certainly, Rock the Mailbox is an amazing resource. I'm at your disposal as far as getting information to the marketing, buying / user community. Whatever you need, and thank you so much for everything. Final words?
Awesome, and thank you for your support of the industry and of me and for all that you do, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here today, so thanks a lot.
No problem. So thanks to everyone for joining us. Again, if you have questions for Trish, give her an email, trish@rockthemailbox.com. Are you going to stay folding Fanatic, or are you going to create new information for Rock the Mailbox as far as?
Yeah, so there's going to be there's going to be a YouTube channel, there's going to be a Rock the Mailbox handle, all sorts of things coming up. So we're at the very kind of early edge of it. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, again, thank you so much. Thanks to Explore for letting us use their platform, and they have a really cool conference coming up in April, Exploration 15. If you're in direct mail and you're not at this conference, I don't understand why. These are the people. These are your people. So cool. So thank you for everything. Thank you, Chad, if you're out there from Explore. You can kick us all out now. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, everybody.